Before we begin, be sure to share the video. Sharing the video is very easy. Attached to this video is the share button. Press it. Copy the link or choose a social media platform and share the video. Thank you in advance. This will encourage more people to see this video. Full joy, the program. Introducing Ethiopia's Freedom Tours. What is an Ethiopian Freedom Tour? We are giving you the opportunity to visit us in Ethiopia on your terms. You pick the date, summer, spring, October, or December. It's your choice. 3 days, 5 days, 7 or 9 days. It's your choice. Several options to choose from. Tour Addis Ababa. Tour Shashamani, Hawassa and Wando Genet, Lalibela and Aksum, or a combination of them all. It's all up to you. Need more information? Check our Freedom Tour booklet. Press the link in the description or email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Ethiopia Freedom Tours. When will you be coming? Now, Ethiopia is really proving itself to be the most ancient and the most modern. And again, those of you who will be joining us when we visit the Science Museum, you will see for yourself. I'm talking about the Triple Crown virtual tour. You will see for yourself the advancement that is being made in Ethiopia. And I'm highlighting now in this conversation the whole aspect of the mission in space. And the mission in space has to do with the education, first of all, as it relates to the universe. The Science Museum in general covers so many things when it comes to technology and moving forward and climate change and so many different things, hydraulics, electricity, many different things, agriculture. It's right there. We would have definitely done programs where we highlighted our visit to the Science Museum. But remember, we will be visiting the Science Museum in a few short days, definitely for the Triple Crown virtual tour. Are you a part of the Triple Crown virtual tour? So, what I'm saying now, royal family, Ethiopia, as the ancient and modern country, this is where astronomy began. And the proof is right here in Ethiopia. Again, I must highlight, we will be visiting the National Museum. And then now you will be given a chance to see for yourself how we would have connected to the universe tens of thousands of years ago within language, within the instruments that have been found here. And listen to this, the mystic is that it is the clergy, it is the church that would have orchestrated the whole aspect of connecting to the heavens. In fact, it is within the liturgy, Ge'ez. You see that language? Ge'ez, that ancient language, within it. You have many different codes to be decoded by those who don't know the code. That is rooted in astronomy. So the Ethiopians are the first to highlight the whole aspect of using a calendar. Now, hold on, listen, family. I mean, this is just common sense. When we visit the National Museum, you will see for yourself not just the Ignish, not just Lucy 3.2 million years old. You will see for yourself fossil remains, skeletal remains going as far as 1 million years ago, 2 point something million years ago. I'm talking about the National Museum here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Those of you who would have purchased your ticket, and those who will be purchasing your ticket for the virtual tour. I am saying to you, you can see evidence, you will see with your own eyes that the Ethiopians would have mastered the understanding of the rhythm of the heavens tens of thousands of years ago. And all of this is seen within even the instruments that were used to track the movements of the heavens, to track the planets, to track the stars. And I must add or reiterate that it is the priests. This is why I would always highlight in the ancient time for an individual to say that they are a priest, they had to have a good understanding of astronomy. So for us today to be burning fire, talking about stargazing, and then we want to talk about priesthood, something's wrong. You know, to be a priest is not just to follow what you see another brother do, is to have a good understanding of the universe. And astronomy is a key component of the ancient priesthood. And I'm proving it here, that right here in Ethiopia, even embedded in the rhythm and the movements of the liturgy and the dance and the hymns and everything is astronomy. It is the exact same thing for the Bobo Shanti Bingi order. Oh, I'm telling you, from the colors we wear to the position we take on the altar. You hear the 7 stars in his right hand. It's no joke. And those who burn in fire on stargazing. So what about the 7 stars in his right hand? It is you I hear saying that. And we turn to the heretical side, to the left. The churchical order, the 7 hymns, and the going into Zion, and everything thereof, and the colors and everything, the spectrum of light connected to the black hole of the universe. I'm telling you, many of us, we may not comprehend the depths of the order that we follow, but you're dealing with the universe right before you in the formation of a service. And the drum sound is the sound of creation, the sound of the spirit and the heart, the sound of the soul, and the sound of the intellect. I'm telling you, all of this is within our churchical order, our liberty, our garments. And of course, at this time, a lot of it is being done in English. But I'm trying to show you that the gaze, the Ethiopian ancient tongue that is utilized in the church, according to the records that we have been looking at, within that gaze, you have astronomy. Now, of course, the previous program we did here on the Tiger's Nest, we were going through the manuscript from the Ethiopian brother. And of course, he was quoted from some heavyweights. Remember even the books of J.A. Rogers, and we highlighted the destruction of the black civilization by Chancellor Williams and many other books. What about the book Ethiopia, the Missing Link? I'm sure many of you would have gone through that book. All of these manuscripts and so many more clearly shows you that all of these ancient kingdoms that we boast about were under the tutelage of Ethiopia. In fact, many of them were just Ethiopian point blank. So we talk about the kingdom of Sumer. Before we go thus far, remember what we read previous program? The brother was showing us that the ancient Kemet that we talk about in reality was ruled from Ethiopia. In fact, Sumer itself, all of these places were daughters, in many cases provinces of the highlands of Abyssinia. It may not have been known as Abyssinia at the time, and I mean the whole structure might even have been a bit different than now, but I'm talking about in anciency. I don't think Lucy was practicing Orthodox Christianity, so it doesn't mean it has always been how it is now. But I'm just trying to show to you that when you talk about the agency of India, you're talking about being ruled from Ethiopia. The brother even went into the Celts and these different ones and who we consider to be Europeans. They may have been from Europe, but they were of African stock. So again, the Dravidians, Stonehenge, all of these things were mentioned within the manuscript, and we're dealing with people who are credited as being ancient astronomers. Stonehenge, aligning with the solstices and the equinoxes, ancient astronomers. And this is why I showed to you, family. Just look at this. As the old people would say, pick sense out of nonsense. Watch this. When you observe, according to what we have been taught, it is the Arabs that would have, well, they didn't tell us preserve. The Arabs somehow miraculously invented astronomy and certain aspect of surgery, especially the cataract, taking the cataract from the eye and all of that. Well, we surely have debunked all of that stuff. Number one, is not necessarily the Arabs as you know the Arabs today. These people, maybe many of them were from the Arabian Peninsula and Iraq and even as far as Iran, North Africa. But again, they were not the Arabs as you know them today. So we talk about the original Berber, not the Berber people today that they try to confuse with the Moors. In fact, the real Moors, the blacker Moors, the real black Moors are the real Berber, the real Ethiopians. That's why in Ethiopia you still have the Berber spice that is used in the Misir. You understand? So follow this good. The black people who preserved, yes, they did preserve for a certain aspect of the world astronomy from the 7th to the 14th century. From when? From the 7th to the 14th century. That's about 700 years. But in the middle of them preserving that in Iraq, the Ethiopians built 11 rock churches that align with the stars. So we have to understand history here. And I must say, remember I'm in Ethiopia, I must say, even the professors and the scientists are saying, well, we have no proof yet that the Lalibela church is aligned with the stars, but we strongly believe that they do. Well, obviously, your belief is correct. You don't have to know something to make it reality. And even if you don't believe or you don't know, that doesn't change the truth. But I am saying that we would have already unraveled the mystery of the 27th day of September Maskal. Family, on the 27th day of Maskal, the cross, which is the Southern Cross, aligns perfectly with Keros Girugis, the rock church of St. George in Lalibela. And as they say, you don't know in certain parts, but now take back my talk. I think it's chat. No, no, take back no chat. Well, yeah, exactly. They eat a lot of chat in Ethiopia, by the way. Yeah, chat. The cannabis is the real chat. How is it going in the chat? Okay, give thanks. So what I'm saying here again, family, check this out. We would have already showed that. Trust me, midday, perfect. There's the Southern Cross, the crux in the southern hemisphere, celestial hemisphere, perfectly aligns with the cross in Lalibela, in Roja, in Lasta, Kedos Girugis, you know, a better Christian. I'm telling you, we would have done programs on that where we showed you the coordinates and perfectly drew the line and everything. So that is proven already. Maybe we waited for somebody to come from NASA and fly in on Ethiopian airline and spend a week in the finest hotel and eat the best food to come and tell us, okay, yeah, this church lines up with something up there. And then it goes on the news. I don't know. But we would have proven that using the understanding that we have of astronomy and again the terrain of Lalibela. So again, the point I'm making is that when we created those 11 churches, obviously aligned with the heavens, we never built monuments in the ancient world. We never built monuments in the ancient world, and they were not astronomically sound. We don't do that. You see, like today, you build a building, and the building inspector got to come and make sure that the earth is correct and the place where the foundation is being laid and a heap of things. They got to make sure it's correct. Well, it's the same thing when we were building monuments, temples, even houses, a little shop. It had to align with something in the heavens. There must be a story being told here. When the birds fly over the city, they're supposed to can say, hey, that's the stars on the ground because the way that it was built. That's us. That's how we did our thing. So I'm saying once more that just imagine this, that the structures that were built that aligned with all these magnificent astronomical movements were built in the middle, right in the center of what is known as the Islamic revolution, Renaissance as such, where the Islamic world, which people somehow mix up with the Arab world, you know. I know why they go together, but it's not always the same thing. But anyway, for now, the Islamic world, especially in Iraq and North Africa and these places, would have preserved, would have preserved. I like to use that term because history tries to tell you as if they invented it. Preserved. When most of the world would have kind of gone, gone like amnesia towards this knowledge, they kept it strong. But it's not them alone. I will repeat, in Ethiopia, we were building structures. We didn't lose it. We still had it. We never lost it. And we never lost it in ancient Egypt neither. Because Egypt is a part of the Islamic world that was preserving the astronomy. I mean, come on. So obviously, where you think they got the knowledge from, the same place, we never lost anything. And this is why even up to today, we're still carrying on the tradition. That is why I highlighted Selassie. We learned that right here, and you heard it for yourself, those of you who follow us on the YouTube, where the sister at the Ethiopian Space and Science Society clearly showed us that the Orion Belt is called Selassie. And we would have brought a whole theory around Haile Selassie and the Orion's constellation, of which we would have been stoned for already. Eh? And now, again, it comes full circle. Some people like to say, "Oh, he's always speaking of himself." I don't know what you're talking about. I'm speaking of myself. No, man. Me? I mean, when I begin my program out of respect, I said, "This is Honorable Priest Isaac," and I never said that until I praise Haile Selassie the first. And then that's it. I'm not speaking of myself. I am speaking, and I'm giving knowledge, and this is just a part of the knowledge. What am I supposed to do? Lie? Pretend as if I don't know what I know? I'm just telling you the truth. When the truth really comes out now, you can't say I didn't say. You understand? So that is the meditation here. Royal family, give thanks for your presence. If you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. Yes, it's time. Give thanks. And of course, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Yeah, man, cut and clear, rent and tear, move all obstacles out of the way. The heavens declare the glory of God, the firmament showing his handiwork, day unto day, uttereth speech, night unto night, showing knowledge. Baba Chin, Janoi, King Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, yeah.
Blessed love, Honourable Priest Isaac, it's Sister Beulah here. Just come to share a few words regarding my natal chart, which was recently done. Thank you. But firstly, I have to make mention of the rudiments of ancient astronomy course that I completed, which ultimately woke my heavens to astronomy as a subject as a whole, and the ancient fundamentals of the universe, planets, stars, and all the other beautiful things I'm learning about. Yeah, the spring equinox, really like that. And just the effect that they have on us daily. Why I think it's really important you have some basic knowledge of astronomy before you get your natal chart reading done is so you will understand the straightforward mathematics that goes into the reading that Priest Isaac does for you. The natal chart reading is nothing to be viewed with any taboo or spookism. It just offers an in-depth astrological reading of the heavens at your time of birth, and the way the Honourable Priest Isaac is able to break down the planetary alignments and interpret how they should be showing up through you as an individual is just mind-blowing and accurate to your character. Trust me, it just adds deeper meaning to self. For me personally, getting my natal chart reading done and embarking on the principles of ancient astronomy as an ongoing study daily has been the best thing I could have ever done for me and my children. Rastafari. For these few words, I'm very thankful, and for crossing paths with the Priest Isaac Institute, I will forever be grateful for. Rastafari, Empress Menensil, blessed love. Thank you.
Nearly half the population of Ethiopia now is under the age of 15, and for Haile Selassie their education has always been an obsession.
Salam Nacho to all Ethiopian lineage, children and parents. Introducing the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Ethiopian History Essay Competition from the 5th of May to the 2nd of November 2026.
He's taken personal charge of the Ministry of Education, sought teachers and money for more schools from half the countries in the world, and turned one of his palaces into a university.
Children 7 to 17 will write an essay entitled "What Does Ethiopian History Mean to Me?" Prizes such as laptops and tablets to be won, trips to the Science Museum, Unity Park, and others for the full class of the winners from Aksum to Lalibela. Menelik I and Menelik II, Ethiopia's history is amongst the richest in the world. For more information, join us on most social media platforms at Priest Isaac, or email us at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The Ethiopian History Essay Competition. Know your heritage.
He's directly responsible for whatever schooling these youngsters get.
To everyone who has been asking, Priest Isaac, how can I make a contribution to the Institute? Press the link in the description and you'll get all the information that you need to do such. We truly appreciate your inquiry. For more information, email priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com.